So the first thing we're going to look at is kerf seal. It's also called Q-Lon. It's just a type of weather stripping that you see in new construction, and if you buy a new pre-hung door at Depot or Lowe's, this is going to come in the frame. This stuff can be replaced. It pops in and out. It has this rigid piece here, and it fits into this slot in your jamb. Your jamb has to be made for this. You can't just put this into anything. If your jamb doesn't have that, you can't cut that slot. And this can be replaced. You can buy these in 8-foot pieces at Home Depot or Lowe's. They come in brown and white and beige. You can also buy like 20-foot rolls of it on Amazon. And this is the best stuff. And if you ever have to replace the kerf seal, cut it to length, stick it in the bottom and push it all the way down, and then just work it in bit by bit. Push it in as you go up, get it in nice and snug. If you put it in and it's a little high to start and then you put it all in, you can't push it down. There's too much friction. You have to take it all out. So start it at the bottom, push it against your threshold, and then work your way up. And I always cut them just a little bit long and push it in there. And then when I get to the top, I just cut it with scissors. Cutting it with scissors is easier than cutting it with a razor knife. But let's say your door does not have that. Or a properly installed door doesn't necessarily need weather stripping. A lot of people like it, but it's not always necessary, and nothing works 100%. You know, I always tell people, this is not a submarine door, okay? There's gonna be a little gap or light somewhere. But let's say you don't have this and you do need weather stripping. Here's what I recommend. This is a good product, and it's called the Door Set. And they come in 3 pieces, 2 long and 1 short. Here's the short piece. And it comes with a bunch of little screws. It has the metal strip, and then it has this rubber edge. Here's how it works. Okay, so we're going to just imagine that they don't have the kerf seal here. Close the door and lock the deadbolt. And the reason you want to lock that deadbolt is you want the door in the proper position. I always start on top. I measure the top from the edge of the stop to the edge of the stop, and I put in the top piece first. Then I work on the side with the lock. So once the top piece is in, you cut the side to length, and then you just put it up against the door gently, and you put it up against the top piece as well. And I have a video that shows this. And then you just take this and you want to push it against the door gently. You don't want to jam it against there. Remember, your deadbolt is locked at this point. If you jam it against there, you're putting pressure on the door, and then your lock won't turn anymore. Okay, so you just want to put it gently up against there and then put in the screws. If you're doing this on a metal jam, you have to pre-drill the screws or use self-tapping metal screws. And then what I do is just put in a few, every 3rd or 4th screw. And each time I put in a screw, I test the door. Unlock it, open it and close it. Make sure everything's working well, and then lock it again. Because if you push this thing too hard and then the lock isn't working, you gotta back it off, loosen it up. So you put this in gently, then once it's all working, then you put in the rest of your screws, and then you do the same thing on the hinge side. Here it's not as critical to test the door, but I still do it. And this is great when you have real uneven gaps, because sometimes the jambs are crooked. You have a big gap at the top and a small gap at the bottom, or vice versa. You put this in here, it can hide all the gaps. So now I've taken out the kerf seal for this demonstration, and I'm gonna show you how to use these 2 products. So we've got the rubber foam. Comes in a coil like this, you cut it to length, and they come in different sizes, from like a 1/4 inch thick to 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch thick. Well, this one has a sticky side down, so you stick that on and then you pull off the backer once it's on. I like this product much better, the premium rubber. And again, they come in different thicknesses and different widths. They give you 2, so you just peel them apart, cut them to length, and then they have this backing, so you just pull off the backing so it sticks. Now, if you're gonna use this sticky foam, cut it to length, and here's the error that people make. They see a gap between their door, and then they put it on there, thinking, oh, that'll cover the gap. That will only work for a day or two because the edge of the door will knock that off. Think about it. If your door is rubbing it like this every time, it's going to start pulling it off. It just doesn't work. Apply it to the stop, stick it on. Then, when the door closes, you've got that nice seal. If you're going to use this stick-on type, I recommend this one. So you peel off the sticky backer, and again, do not put it on the side of the jamb here. Put it right here on the stop. And these are great for commercial metal doors. Stick it right on there. And then when it closes, gives you a nice seal. Also available, there's a couple different types of these. This has the kerf seal into this rigid metal. You can also get these installed in a wood strip. These work just like the door set, they're just beefier. So you put them in, you lock your deadbolt, and you push it up against the door snugly and put in your screws. These can be unsightly, but sometimes, people demand them. Some people get really nutty about weather stripping, and this is the most complete solution of them all. And I do these in a lot of commercial spaces, warehouses, offices. Looks aren't as important as just sealing those doors. Keep in mind, whenever you're messing with weather stripping, installing weather stripping, installing a door that has weather stripping, that the performance of the weather stripping can affect the locks. If you had real old stuff in there that was worn out or you didn't have anything, then you put in new stuff, well, your lock used to engage right here and now it engages back here. So sometimes you have to move the strike plates or grind the hole a little bit bigger in the strike plate. Some people are okay with this thick weather stripping, and then they have to give their door a little pull in order to lock it. Some people don't like to do that. They just want to close it and lock it. That's your weather stripping lesson.